I was browsing around Reddit the other day when I came across this post. I think this pretty accurately describes one of the major issues I've had with these journalists over the last long while. They termed it as Journofluid, and I think I'm going to be using this term from now on, honestly. Now, when you first hear that, it conjures up images you'd rather not think about, but the meaning behind it, short version anyway, is that these journalists are only journalists when it suits them and bloggers when it doesn't. Uh, do they want perks of being a journalist? Review copies, press passes, transportation to press events? They're journalists. Do they have to follow FTC rules and guidelines? They're just bloggers. Don't need to worry about that. You can kind of see where this is going, right? This is something that I've noticed for a long time, and I've never understood how they could come to this. And I see this all the time from at least one person from every one of these major sites. They do this a lot. And I don't, maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but I don't get it. If you at any point call yourself a journalist, congratulations, you're a journalist all the time. You can't just, no, oh, no, backsies, I take it back, I'm only a blogger. No, if you say that you're a journalist and try to use that as some way to get yourself further ahead, you're a journalist, period. You cannot go back to blogger unless you say are fired, leave the website, stop working in journalism, etc., however you want to personally describe it. Because at that point, if you try to get things or just try to push yourself ahead as a journalist, you are a journalist. You have to then follow the rules of journalism, disclosure, notifying if advertising, all of these kind of things. You cannot just flip-flop at will whenever it best suits you. I don't understand how that just happens all the time. Well, I know how it happens. I mean, how it is accepted and normal that it happens all the time. What's even scarier is I've seen the beginnings of this kind of mentality in mainstream journalism, and that really frightens me. It honestly does. Can you imagine someone like Brian Williams having tried this just a couple years ago before he got the boot? That would have been insane. And you'd be laughed at for even thinking about it. These days, it's starting to seem more likely that it's going to happen. It's this little thing called accountability. And they've found a way to some degree, avoid it. And I do not like that this is even possible. If you are a journalist, you are a journalist, period. You are not a journalist when it suits you. I'm going to post the link to this in the description. It's crass, but it describes a lot better what I'm talking about and the attitude that has been shown a lot by these journalists. Anyway, this has just been Math Machine talking about this fun new term I'm going to be using from now on. Peace out.